Hey guys, and welcome back to this channel. This is Chad Confirmed, bringing you the hottest news in the crypto world. For today's video, using the current rankings of the top 10 crypto investments, we're going to discuss how to make the most money out of your cryptocurrency investments by creating a risk-adjusted investment strategy. If you're looking to make money in the cryptocurrency market, some Reddit users have independently revealed their comprehensive study, uncovering the largest gains and losses among 2,000 distinct cryptocurrencies. Their experimentation and findings can serve as a big assistance and guide to you. A good starting point is the research of Reddit user Milo Nutrigain that tackles about the top 200 cryptocurrencies in January 2020 to see which ones returned the highest profits of more than 10,000% and which ones left you with nothing. The process begins with a review of the top 200 coins as of January 2020, of which 120 of those coins are removed from the rankings. This just proves that most of the index between 101 and 200 has plummeted since they could not keep up with the market. He then points out that the link between market capitalization and pricing isn't always there. To put it another way, it's feasible for the 10th coin to lose its position, despite having a market capitalization of $30 billion in transactions for $1 each 1 year later, even if it's worth the same $30 billion at $1 each now. It indicates that it can lose its ranking simply because the other coins do far better. Over 90% of the top 50 coins appear to have retained or even increased in value despite the recent volatility in the market. After a whole year, only G999 was completely depleted. When you look at it closely, you could see that it was nothing more than a sham. One of the most elusive altcoins on the market, it was developed with the sole purpose of becoming listed on CoinMarketCap and Etherscan to generate enough interest to transform into a full-fledged MLM. Although it made its way to the top 20, it finally became worthless, proving that fraudulent behavior does not last long and is caught in the end, thanks to the exceptional and well-structured platform. There's a strong case to be made that diversification would have done more damage than good to your investment returns throughout this period of time. However, it's interesting to see that the majority of gains were focused in only two cryptocurrency, despite the others having an average return of about 1,000%. In the crypto market, you had the best chance of success if you had invested in the most popular coins. Now, before we move on to the next part of the video, do you have any recommendations, tips, and tricks for traders when it comes to investments? Let us know your thoughts and experiences on this in the comments section below. And now, back to the video. Everyone hears about people making millions from a few $1,000 they have invested in crypto. Sounds like a scam. Actually, only 5 out of 200 possible outcomes have yielded a return of more than 10,000%. A random investment strategy has an investment success rate of 2.5%, which indicates that your losses will have a substantial impact on your overall return. Only those that are unlucky end up losing money in most circumstances. Accordingly, the average drop was anywhere from 90% to 100%, indicating a bad sign. A 1,200% return on investments would have been possible if each of these 200 cryptocurrencies had been purchased equally. Focusing on the fact that the S&P 500 gained 31% during the same period. However, you could have gotten just as far by sticking to the first two most valuable coins. With no other strategy, your chances of winning are merely 1 in 50, which means you run the danger of losing everything. Moreover, as the Bitcoin industry began to expand in November 2017, the same user went a step further and evaluated the market for the past 4 years. Just for experimentation of the chances we could have had back then. Results show that only 8 of the top 30 currencies have remained in the top 30 since the entire market cap climbed from 231 billion to 2.6 trillion. Some of that includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Cardano, and the list goes on. Despite the fact that Bitcoin's market share has begun to decline, the currency's overall supremacy has remained practically unchanged. Since the initial 2017 Top 30 list was published, there are a few more options that have grown in market value, but they have been pushed down by other, superior options. In addition, QZ produced a list of the year's top 10 gainers. Ripple was one of the greatest winners with a ROI of 36,000%. At this point, even if you tried, comparing Ripple to the other top performers would be pointless. Now, let's run some numbers through it to better visualize the values. Let us say we invested $100 in each of the top 10 on January 1st, 2018 to see how they perform. Ripple has lost 57% of its value in the last 4 years, making your $100 worth just $43. And EM is now worth $15.48, a loss of 85% on a $100 investment. The list goes on. The point is, if you invested $1,000, you'd be sitting on $7,522.62 now, even though 80% of those investments have lost an average of more than 50%. Nevertheless, honestly, that's astounding. On the other hand, although the Binance coin accounts for a majority of the money in the market, removing it from the list would result in a loss of 18%. As we can see, prior performance does not guarantee future success in the Bitcoin market. It's possible that there's a better approach out there, and that gets us to Joe M-4, the second Reddit user we'll be looking at today. Since the 1st of January 2018, he has been writing a blog called top10cryptofund.com, in which he tracks his investments in the top 10 cryptocurrencies. When we near the 4th year mark, his performance and plans should offer us a better idea of how and where the largest winners originate. In 2017, he chose to start investing $100 into each of the top 10 coins, and he let the process run its course for the entire year without intervening. Now that the video is getting boring, do you know any other approaches in investing? Let us know your thoughts and experiences on this in the comment section below. And now, back to the video. Based on this experiment alone, putting his odds equally amongst the top 10, we would be expecting huge returns. But things turned out differently. Unfortunately, he lost 84% of his initial investment, from $1,000 to just $150. There were a few initial coins that had all dropped out of the top 10 by the year's end: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. As a result, 2018 was a terrible year. But it seems like his favorite motto is, quote-unquote, fall 7 times, stand up 8. Because in the succeeding year, he tried again the same strategy, investing in the top 10 coins, $100 each. However, there was a slight change this time around. Coins were replaced by higher ranking ones, bumping them off the list. Even if the S&P 500 gained 29% over the course of a year, the Bitcoin portfolio grew only 1.74%. In spite of this, he did not give up and tried again the next year. He went through the same process once more. Despite the addition of a few new coins, the list as a whole remained unchanged, except for 5 losing values such as Ripple's demise due to the SEC's value. It's safe to say that those who did well fared exceptionally well. Throughout the last 3 years, his comeback to the S&P 500 had begun catching up. Another year passed in 2021, it appears that nothing can be stopped. On January 1st, 2021, he invested once again $100 in each of the top 10 coins, including Link, Binance Coin, Cardano, and Polkadot. The fascinating thing is that virtually all of them have made a profit this year, with a total return of just shy of $5,000. The prior 2018 portfolio went from an 85% loss to a 72% return when we aggregate all 4 years altogether. holding them evenly the entire time. As a comparison to the S&P 500's return of 56% over the same period of time, he stated that this average returns 514%. His analysis is outstanding. On the surface, he observed that just 40% of the listing had gained value when comparing the first listing price on an exchange to the actual price accessible today. Who would have known he would be quite successful in his third try? You can take this into consideration as a viable investment method to try. You may therefore expect roughly 60% of your investments to be worthless or at the very least break even if you invest blindly across the board. 40% of all cryptocurrency values increase, but those that do are rising at a significantly faster rate than others. And the victors gain an average of 3,048 percentage points. Even though it is a large amount, the fact that a small number of individuals are accountable for so much of it makes it all the more astonishing. If you take out all of the top 1% of the cryptocurrency market, your return drops to 641%. Your overall return would be comparable to an investment in the S&P 500, even if only 5% of investors profited. Despite the 40% increase in cryptocurrency value, just 2% of cryptocurrencies truly earn enough to outperform the stock market over time. But in terms of an investment strategy that can take advantage of the 2%, the best way to invest is to simply buy equal amounts of the top 10 cryptocurrencies every month and then do nothing about it. What we are looking for is a technique that everyone can use, which does not require a lot of labor and which is not dependent on chance. As a result, you're taking on a larger level of risk by investing in lesser cryptos, but you're also reaping the benefits of that risk. Piece of advice: look at the bigger picture. The market for the long term. Do not go all in and do not expect too much. It's worth noting that in the top 10, Bitcoin and Ethereum have historically provided the highest profits, with returns of 548% and 1,421% over the past 4 years, respectively, if you invested $100 a week consistently. Statistically speaking, this is the safest option for people who pique their interest into cryptocurrency for the first time. To sum it up, the top 10 cryptocurrencies to buy in 2022 will likely be the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap today. Because of their stability and long-term viability, they are not the best investments for those seeking a quick windfall, but they are among the most reliable. That's all for today. If you learned something new, like this video and make sure you hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our uploads. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this video. Kindly subscribe if you haven't already. This is Chad Confirmed, signing off.